Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we'll discuss a few multiple choice questions based on the short story A Living God by Patrick Lafcadio Hearn. The pattern is same. First of all, I'll ask you the question. The options will appear on the screen. You will be given 3 seconds of time. If you can answer it, answer them. And if not, I'll tell you the answer. So let's start. Question number 1. The story A Living God is based on the real event from the life of Japanese personality ... The options are Goryo Hamaguchi, B. Patrick Lafcadio Hearn, C. Koizumi Yakumo, and D. Ishikawa. The right answer is option A. Goryo Hamaguchi. Question number 2. Who is known as Koizumi Yakumo? The options are A. Goryo Hamaguchi, B. Ishikawa, C. Patrick Lafcadio Hearn, and D. Akatsuki. The right answer is option C. Patrick Lafcadio Hearn. Patrick Lafcadio Hearn is also known as Koizumi Yakumo. Question number 3. The short story A Living God appears in the book ... by Patrick Lafcadio Hearn. The options are A. In Ghostly Japan, B. A Japanese Miscellany, C. Gleanings in Buddha Fields, and D. Kwaidan. The right answer is option C. Gleanings in Buddha Fields. The short story A Living God appears in the book Gleanings in Buddha Fields by Patrick Lafcadio Hearn. Question number 4. The short story narrates how Hamaguchi saved hundreds of lives in Hirogawa when a devastating tsunami struck ... The options are coast of Java, B. coast of Peninsula, C. coast of Arabia, and D. coast of Pacific. The right answer is option B. coast of Peninsula. The story narrates how Hamaguchi saved hundreds of lives in Hirogawa when a devastating tsunami struck the coast of Peninsula. Question number 5. At the time of occurrence of the story A Living God, Hamaguchi was ... The options are A. in his childhood, B. in his youth, C. in his old age, and D. none of the above. The right answer is C. in his old age. At the time of occurrence of the story A Living God, Hamaguchi was in his old age. Question number 6. The awful sudden rising of the sea is called ... in Japanese language. Options are A. earthquake, B. typhoon, C. cyclone, and D. tsunami. The right answer is D. tsunami. The awful sudden rising of a sea is called tsunami in Japanese language. Question number 7. When was the story of Hamaguchi held in Japanese coast? Options are A. After the era of tsunami, option B. before the era of Meiji, option C. in the era of World War II, and D. none of the above. The right answer is option B. before the era of Meiji. The story of Hamaguchi held in Japanese coast before the era of Meiji. Question number 8. What is the grandfather referred to in Japanese language? The options are Choja, B. Moroza, C. Grandappa, and D. Ojisan. The right answer is option D. Ojisan. Grandfather in Japanese language is referred to as Ojisan. Question number 8. Hamaguchi's small plateau was mostly devoted to ... culture. The options are rice, B. wheat, C. jawar, and D. all of the above. The right answer is option A. rice. Hamaguchi's small plateau was mostly devoted to rice culture. Question number 9. What is the meaning of the word Choja? Options are A. poor man, B. rich man, C. leader, and D. teacher. The right answer is B. rich man. The meaning of the word Choja is rich man. Question number 11. Which temple is mentioned in the story A Living God? The options are A. Jizo, B. Kannon, C. Shinto, and D. Agyo. The right answer is option C. Shinto. Shinto temple is mentioned in the story A Living God. Question number 12. Where were the villagers celebrating the harvest by dance and festooned paper lanterns? The options are A. Jizo, B. in the court of Kannon, C. in the court of Ujigami, and D. in the court of Palace. The right answer is option C. in the court of Ujigami. The villagers were celebrating the harvest by dance and festooned lantern papers in the court of Ujigami. Question number 13. Who accompanied Hamaguchi when village was celebrating the harvest? The options are A, the son, B, the daughter, C, the grandson, and D, the wife. The right answer is option C, grandson. When village was celebrating the harvest, Hamaguchi's grandson accompanied him. Question number 14. What does the old man Hamaguchi calls his grandson? The options are A, Baba, B, Tara, C, Dada, D, my son. The right answer is option B, Tada. Hamaguchi called his grandson Tada. Question number 15. What does the old man do to capture the attention of celebrating people? Option A, rings the church bell. Option B, cries loudly. Option C, sets fire to the rice crop. And option D, all of the above. The right answer is option C, sets fire to the rice crop. The old man sets fire to the rice crop to capture the attention of the celebrating people. Question number 16. What does Hamaguchi do with the torch? Options are A, sets fire to rice stacks, B, fixes it on the mountain, C, shows it to the villagers, D, none of the above. The right answer is sets fire to the rice stacks. Hamaguchi sets fire to the rice stacks with the torch. Question number 17. Who is the richest man on the earth, living in the thatched hut with the family in the story A Living God? The options are A, Hamaguchi, B, Tada, C, the headman, and D, the temple priest. The right answer is option A, Hamaguchi. Hamaguchi is the richest man on the earth, living in the thatched hut with his family in the story Living God. Question number 18. Goryo Hamaguchi becomes a living god due to his act of ... The options are A, selfishness, 2, selflessness, C, charity, and D, none of the above. The right answer is selflessness. Goryo Hamaguchi becomes a living god due to his act of selflessness. Question number 19. Who is the author of the story A Living God? The options are A, N.R. Narayan Murthy, B, Gordon Livingston, C, APJ Abdul Kalam, and D, Patrick Lafcadio Hearn. The right answer is Patrick Lafcadio Hearn. Patrick Lafcadio Hearn is the author of the story A Living God. Question number 20. The story A Living God is about ... Options are A, famine, B, drought, C, tsunami, and D, war. The right answer is option C, tsunami. The story A Living God is about tsunami. Question number 21. Why are Taimatsu or pine torches kept in many coastal dwellings? The options are A, to use them on stormy nights, B, to use on certain Shinto festivals, C, both A and B, and D, neither A nor B. The right answer is option C, both A and B. Taimatsu or pine torches are kept in many coastal dwellings to use them on the stormy nights as well as to use them on the certain Shinto festivals. Question number 22. What does the grandson say when the people arrive on the top? The options are A, grandfather is not well, B, grandfather is not a good person, C, grandfather is mad, and D, grandfather is not at home. The right answer is option C, grandfather is mad. When people arrive on the top, the grandson says the grandfather is mad. Question number 22. What did the people do to express their gratitude to Hamaguchi? Options are A, they gave him money, B, they gave him gold, C, they made him their president, and D, they built a temple to his spirit. The right answer is option D, they built a temple to his spirit. Question number 23. Where was Patrick Lafcadio Hearn born? The options are A, in Washington, B, in Athens, C, in the Greek island of Lefkas, and D, in India. The right answer is option C, in the Greek island of Lefkas. Patrick Lafcadio Hearn was born in the Greek island of Lefkas. Question number 25. Which of the following book is not written by Patrick Lafcadio Hearn? The options are A, Exotics and Retrospective, B, A Japanese Miscellany, C, Gleaning in Both the Fields, and D, Rule and Responsibility. The right answer is option D, Rule and Responsibility. Rule and Responsibility is not written by Patrick Lafcadio Hearn. And question number 26. What does the acolyte to the hill temple do when he observes the blaze? The options are runs towards the fields, B, sets the big bell booming, C, asks people to get water, and D, brings the sea water up by magic. The right answer is option B, sets the big bell booming. When the priest acolyte see the blaze, he sets the big bell booming. That's the end of the questions from the story A Living God. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching this video.